The wind howled over the hills of Brogan's Hollow, sweeping dried leaves down the narrow main street like tiny, frantic birds. It was late November, and the sky hung low with slate-colored clouds. The town was the kind of place that didn't show up on most maps anymore: one general store, one diner, a church, and too many ghosts. It was in this place, where life had settled into the dust and routine decades ago, that she arrived. Mayra. She drove an old, spotless Cadillac, black, with silver trim and no plates. No one saw her unpack. No one helped her move in. But suddenly, she was just there, living in the Jennings house on the hill, a place everyone knew better than to approach after dark. She was beautiful. Almost unnaturally so. Hair dark as burnt oak, skin pale as frost, and eyes the color of stormwater. She dressed like a woman out of time: red dresses, tight at the waist and flowing at the bottom, matching gloves that reached to her elbows, and heels sharp enough to kill a man. She came to the diner every morning. Sat at the same booth. Ordered black coffee and a slice of cherry pie. Always alone. Always smiling. And yet, despite her politeness and her charm, everyone in Brogan's Hollow felt it: something off. Something wrong. Like she wasn't wearing that dress, she was hiding in it. Thomas Whitaker was the first to go missing. He worked nights at Rick's Tavern, had a temper and a drinking problem. Most folks figured he'd finally skipped town, or gotten himself into trouble he couldn't claw his way out of. But his mother, Beverly, swore up and down he wouldn't leave without saying goodbye. A week later, his truck was found deep in the woods, doors open, keys in the ignition. No sign of struggle. No blood. Just a smear of red lipstick on the windshield and a clump of long, dark hair caught in the passenger door. Then Marlene went missing, a widow who fed the stray cats behind the church every morning. She was last seen 2 days before the first frost, headed up the road with a bag of tuna cans and a soft hello to everyone she passed. Her porch light stayed on for days afterward. The cats gathered there every night, waiting. People began locking their doors again. Closing their blinds. No one dared say it aloud, but in every hush and sideways glance, the fear pulsed: it's her. It's the woman in red. Mayra kept coming to the diner. Same booth. Same smile. The staff served her with shaking hands and eyes that never met hers for long. Emily Grant was 18, in Brogan's Hollow only because her mother couldn't afford college and her grandmother needed help after hip surgery. She was all big dreams, chipped nails, and earbuds full of riot girl music. She didn't believe in ghosts, had never feared monsters. Until she met Mayra. She first saw her at the diner and thought she was an actress, or maybe a rich widow slumming it in small-town purgatory. But then she caught the way the waitress dropped her pen when Mayra laughed. Like the sound was too cold, too sharp. Emily noticed things. The way animals went quiet when Mayra passed. The way the streetlights flickered after she walked under them. The way her shadow, when it caught the corner of your eye, seemed to move on its own. When Benji Carter disappeared, Emily stopped playing games. He was 17. He'd had a crush on her since 3rd grade. Dorky, sweet, allergic to everything. He'd taken a delivery up to Mayra's house one afternoon and never came back. Emily rode her bike up there that night, phone in hand, camera on. The Jennings house stood like a corpse at the top of the hill, windows like blind eyes, roof sagging like a broken spine. But the light was on. And inside, through the warped glass, she saw something that made her drop her phone. Mayra stood by the fireplace, back to the window, humming something low and guttural. On the floor in front of her were bones. So many bones. Arranged in a spiral, slick with something wet and dark. In her hand, she held a skull like it was a teacup. Emily didn't scream. Didn't run. She walked home shaking, heart pounding like it was trying to claw its way out of her chest. And the next day, she went back. Something changed in Emily after that. She still came to the diner, still helped her grandma, but she was quieter. She watched more. Waited. Mayra noticed. Of course she did. One afternoon, she invited Emily to sit. Emily sat. They spoke little. But the town watched with wide eyes and holding breath as the two began walking together. To the library. To the woods. Sometimes, to the cemetery. Emily started wearing red. Some say Mayra offered her power. Others believe Emily saw what was coming and chose to be on the winning side. But the truth is more complicated. Emily didn't want power. She wanted understanding. She had looked into the abyss, and instead of retreating, she had asked it a question. And the abyss had answered. Mayra wasn't a vampire. Not exactly. Not a demon either. She was older than those words. She had worn many shapes, many names, Lilith, Lamia, Kali, Sekhmet, all misunderstood, all demonized by men afraid of a woman they couldn't tame. She fed on souls. But not all souls. Only those who deserved it. Emily brought her a list. Names of men who beat their wives. Of landlords who evicted mothers in winter. Of priests who touched boys and laughed in the confessional after. One by one, they vanished. Quietly. No mess, no drama. And Brogan's Hollow began to change. The diner became a little warmer. The streets a little safer. People still whispered about Mayra, but the fear had softened, turned to reverence, or awe. Emily, now 19, walked with her head high. The red dresses suited her. She didn't smile much, but when she did, it made people stop and listen.